Back in 1961, at the very edge of Gyeonggi City near Seoul, Mr. Hong built the Gonjiam Psychiatric Hospital. Spanning over 11,500 square meters, this massive hospital earned quite a reputation back then. But in 1979, 42 patients died here due to some twisted experiments by the hospital director and a psycho-doctor. This caused a huge uproar, but because of the director's political power, the whole thing was hushed up. After this incident, Mr. Hong fled the country. For some weird reason, the director committed suicide in one of the hospital rooms. And that's when the paranormal activity started. As the horror got worse over the years, news spread all over South Korea in July 1996 that the hospital had been abandoned. In 2012, CNN Travel came to research the place and declared Ganjim Hospital as the 7th most haunted place on Earth. Because of all the hype, people from all over the world and local thrill seekers started sneaking in, capturing some pretty controversial photos. This forced the Korean government to legally ban anyone from entering the hospital. Based on these events, the movie Gonjiam Haunted Asylum was released in 2018. A few months ago, 2 high school friends went there to live stream and experience the horror firsthand. It said that the director committed suicide in room 402 on the 4th floor. Ever since then, no matter how hard anyone tried, that door could never be opened. So these 2 friends tried to force the door open. They've been missing since that day. After their story went viral, Hajuan, the owner of the Horror Times YouTube channel, plans a trip to verify the truth about the missing kids and the hauntings. There are even more dark rumors about this place. During the war, a huge number of Japanese soldiers were allegedly murdered and buried right here so their bodies would never be found. That's why the massive Ganjim Hospital was built over the entire site. Hajuan's team includes Lee, Park, and Jaehyun, but this time they've added 3 subscribers: Jamie, Charlotte, and Mimi. Hajuan explains the plan and they head out. Their target was 1 million live viewers, which would bank them thousands of dollars from ad agencies. To get exclusive footage of every single corner, they're using multiple GoPros, sensor cameras, POV double-sided cams, drones, night vision, 360 cameras, and electromagnetic sensors. Hajuan is gonna control everything from the outside. They set up a base camp a bit away from the hospital. Hajuan gets the controls ready while the rest head toward the building. On the way, they find a large diaper lying on the ground and jokingly tie it to a tree as a marker. Then, everyone enters the hospital. Before the stream goes live, Lee, Park, and Jaehyun install cameras and lights on every floor and ghost spot. People who came here before claimed they experienced some really weird stuff at these specific spots. Everything is set, and the YouTube live begins. The hallways and rooms of this haunted asylum are still standing there, abandoned, bearing witness to death. Charlotte is on the 1st floor. She pours holy water into a small bowl to provoke the spirits. She's been to 3 haunted places before, so she's got the basic survival knowledge. The whole team heads to the 2nd floor. While explaining the sensor cameras to the viewers, the back door suddenly slams shut. They face their first real jump scare. But they can't back down. They came here mentally prepared. The room where they had their first encounter was the director's office. They find a group photo of the director with mental patients and some photos with the former Korean president. They find out the director was obsessed with table tennis. Some people have even claimed to hear the sound of a ping pong ball on the 4th floor. Just then, a strand of hair is seen hanging from the ceiling. Charlotte captures the footage. Park's group splits off and goes back to the 1st floor. Charlotte does her usual thing and tags the wall with her name and a 4th adventure mark. Right below her name, someone has written, "Let's live here." They walk into the lab next door. They find bandages, meds, and inductions scattered everywhere. Besides a microscope, there's a doll inside a cabinet. And this exact doll was in the hands of a patient in that group photo. Charlotte mentions that a photo taken right here went viral on social media because a shadowy figure was seen behind the girl in the picture. Suddenly, Charlotte steps on a rotten chicken leg. But how did that even get here? Meanwhile, Jamie and Mimi find the ping pong table on the 3rd floor that the director used to use. This is where the mental patients were kept. Because of that, the nearby bathroom is known as a major ghost spot. Right across from it is a water storage tank. By then, Charlotte's group reaches the cursed room 402. Nobody has ever been able to open it, but they're determined to do it today. The live count has already topped 55,000 viewers. Hajuin is hyped, checking every camera. Now the real game starts. They decide to do a ritual to summon spirits in the director's room. Mimi, as the guest, completes the ritual. After waiting, the candles suddenly go out and the bells hanging from red threads start ringing like crazy. Sensing things are getting out of hand, they all rush out. Mimi notices that as soon as the activity started, every sensor camera turned the opposite way. This proves Ganjim is truly haunted. Meanwhile, Hajuin calls Lee and Park. They suddenly get separated from the rest of the group. And here's the big twist. Everything that happened so far was fake. Hajuin, Lee, and Park had set the whole thing up without telling the others. They wanted the viewers and the rest of the team to believe the hauntings were real. Hajuin is thrilled and tells them to keep it up because the views just hit 100,000. Right after he hangs up, Hajuin's monitors and lights start flickering. Then, a freezing cold breeze sweeps through the camp. Back in the hospital, the team goes to the lab. They're shocked to see the doll has moved from the cabinet to a different spot. Charlotte is 100% sure that doll wasn't there. That means someone else is in here with them. Lee picks up the doll for the camera, and Charlotte screams. You don't touch cursed objects in a haunted house. But they have no idea this was still Lee and Park's setup. Because of this trick, the views are skyrocketing. Lee and Park convince everyone to cover room 402 and leave. Hajuin tells Mimi and Jamie to go to the 4th floor and install infrared flashes on the ceiling. Meanwhile, they enter the collective care room. They see rows of wooden boxes against the walls. Patients used to be kept here for treatment. But the weirdest part? The holes in the lids were at chest level instead of being in front of the face. Lee, being curious, sticks his hand into a hole. Something from inside grabs him. Everyone is terrified. But inside, Lee is laughing because the prank worked. But Jaehin gets suspicious. She tries to stick her hand in. Lee tries to stop her, but she forces her hand in and screams in total terror. Park is stunned. They pull her hand out, and everyone jumps back in fear. Jaehin's hand has deep scratch marks on it. Park is speechless. Suddenly, a box lid opens on its own. Someone or something grabs Charlotte's scarf and pulls it into the air. Everyone starts running. All the fake stuff they were doing is now happening for real. But there's a bigger shock on the floor below. On the wall where Charlotte wrote her name, Let's Live, has changed to Let's Die. After this, Jaehin and Charlotte bail and leave the hospital during the live stream. Lee calls Hajuin and tells him everything. Hajuin checks the old footage and sees that it really did say Let's Live before, but views have topped 300,000. So he lies to them. He says Charlotte just misread it. He tells Lee that Jaehin is just acting so she can leave. But they get into an argument about the flying scarf. Following Hajuin's orders, Lee and Park agree to cover the upper floor and room 402. But they demand a 20% increase in their cut of the money. Hajuin has no choice but to agree. But here's another twist. Hajuin looks at the group shot before they entered room 402. Everyone is standing in front of the camera. So the question is, if everyone is on screen, who is holding the camera? Suddenly, the camp lights go out. The monitor flickers again. A cold wind blows outside. Jaehin and Charlotte are still running. The road from the hospital to the camp feels endless. Then they see the tree with the diaper. They breathe a sigh of relief, thinking they're on the right track. Meanwhile, they hear noises from the supply room. They go to film it. A wheelchair creaks as it rolls out from behind a closet. Every single thing in the room suddenly gets stuck to the ceiling. Before they can even react, an invisible force starts hurling heavy objects at them. Lee gets hit in the head and passes out. Then something invisible drags Park away, and he faints too. But Hajuin ignores all this because the live count just hit 800,000. On the other hand, Jaehin and Charlotte are in bad shape. They keep ending up back at that same diaper-marked tree. It's a total maze. Suddenly, Jaehin smells that rotten chicken leg again. Charlotte sees the meds and injections from the lab scattered on the ground. Then she sees Jaehyun standing with her head down, facing the other way. Charlotte touches her shoulder, trembling. Something launches Charlotte into the air. She starts running for her life. She sees the camp ahead. But as soon as she enters, her blood runs cold. Charlotte is actually standing inside the empty hospital. Jaehyun is in a dark corner, muttering to herself. That doll is at her feet. Charlotte shines her light and sees a naked, deformed man. His chest and stomach are ripped open and stitched back together. He's slowly walking toward the doll. This was the same guy from the group photo. The door slams shut. It's unclear how much time passes. Park wakes up and remembers Jamie and Mimi. They're still trying to open room 402. Park tells them to run, but Hajuin is furious. The views are almost at 1 million. Hajuin calls them and demands they open the door. Park snaps and reveals on the live stream that everything was fake from the start. But since the ritual and the doll, everything is real. Gonjiam is truly haunted. He's not even sure if their friends are still alive. Lee has to be found so they can escape. Hajuin realizes things are out of control. He grabs a POV camera and a drone and heads to the hospital himself. Meanwhile, someone hurls a ping-pong ball at Park from the darkness. Someone starts rattling the lock of room 402 from the inside. They hear Charlotte's blood-curdling scream from within. Park tries to run. Suddenly, the sensor lights on the ceiling start flashing one by one. But there's no one there. Then, the door to 402 opens on its own. Hajuin tries to see inside with his drone. He freezes. Someone is eating Charlotte's head in front of an open window upstairs. Inside room 402, the darkness clears. They see they are standing in water. The room has no windows. Even the door they came in through is gone. Suddenly, everyone looks up. Instead of a ceiling, there's just water floating above them. How is that even possible? Park is shaking. He sees a hand behind everyone's head, trying to grab them. He feels something. He looks through the night vision and sees a girl in a school uniform. This is the girl who went missing months ago. A bone-chilling sound rings out. The camera flickers. He sees all 42 dead patients standing there. With their deaths, Ganjim is coming alive. Hajuin enters the hospital, blinded by the greed for views. The air gets freezing. Pitch-black darkness swallows everything. Hajuin turns on his night vision. He feels a touch on his back. The more he turns the camera, the louder the breathing in his ear gets. Suddenly, the ghost of the director throws Hajuin down from above. Lee wakes up tied to a wheelchair. An invisible force pushes him away. He sees the mental patients staring at him through closed doors. With a scream, the wheelchair rolls into the darkness. The view count drops from 1 million to just 502. That girl from the live cover photo suddenly stands up and vanishes. This means the director was watching them the whole time. After the dead of night, the hospital is quiet. A chilling breeze flows through the halls. The boiling holy water in Charlotte's bowl is a grim reminder. They are still there. Now, for some facts. The movie uses room 402, but the real cursed rooms were 202 and 206. Because Ganjim was too dangerous, the movie was filmed at Busan's National Maritime High School. After the movie's release, trespassing increased so much that Gonjiam Asylum was demolished that year. But even today, the land remains abandoned because no one will buy it. If you liked the video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next story.